everyone. I'm Godfrey. Welcome to Lucid Digital. And with me today, I have the wonderful, the talented Dayeanne Hutton.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
So, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, good. This is always fun. Um, so, I'm Dayeanne Hutton, and I'm an actress in LA. So I don't act much. No, I'm from California originally. I went to school in Chicago. Studied theater from a theatery family. I act because I don't know what else I can do, and I'm a huge nerd, and I'm obsessed with Harry Potter.
Oh yes, I saw the new Instagram profile.
Yes, in fact, I made an entirely new Instagram specifically for Harry Potter related posts because I figured, you know what, Harry Potter, the Wizarding World's opening in Hollywood in April, and I was like, I'm going to take a lot of pictures and I'm going to want to post them, and I'm not going to subject my normal Instagram to that spam. So I'll just make it where people who
Yeah,
want to see
yeah.
it can go.
I'm looking forward to that. What's that? Fantastic Beasts? Or yeah, looking forward to that
Yeah.
one.
I'm really upset because I wanted to be in it because it takes place in New York, and I thought, oh, I have a chance. It's America, right? But I'm still really excited for it, even though I'm not in it.
So, getting into your Life is Strange characters, Kate Marsh
Yes.
and Juliet and Alyssa. Tell me how, because your voice is the same. It's like your voice right now for Kate, right? And then what did you have to do to sort of get that slight difference for Juliet and Alyssa?
Well, it was really interesting because when I had when I sent in my audition, because I just taped it myself and sent it, I don't even think I auditioned for Kate. I think the breakdowns were for Max and Victoria, and I think I recorded both of them. But I guess the the guys that don't nod and everything heard my voice, and they knew that it was Kate. Because as you said, it's literally just my voice, but less energetically awkward, spastic, and more sad and depressed. So slower. Um,
Well, you did a great job on it either way.
thank, thank you so much. I actually have to credit the voice changes and stuff to um, the voiceover director that was there with me through the recording sessions, because when I went in, I didn't know I was doing other characters. And he just told me on the spot, and so he knew who the characters were, so he was like, okay, so like Juliet, she's tough, like aggressive, um, and Alyssa, he's like, oh, she's a goth girl, this and that, which is hilarious because if anyone's ever seen me on the internet, I'm like the furthest thing from a goth girl. And that's actually the second time I've voiced over a goth girl, so I was like, what? Okay. Um, but I don't know. I guess for Juliet, uh, he wanted me to think more masculine with her voice, and he had me put my hands on my hips and like took a power stance of sorts when I was doing her. And for Alyssa, I don't remember how we got there, but he'd be like, "Okay, we're doing Alyssa. Remember, that's your marble mouth character." I just like talked like I had a bunch of marbles in my mouth, I guess.
Talk like someone who's about to get hurt for like the 10th time in a row.
Yeah, it's like someone's about to something flying at their head. Oh, poor girl. But it was funny because when I listened, I felt really guilty because I thought, oh my God, I don't sound different at all. How embarrassing. Like these characters all sound the same to me. Um, but then I had people asking me which were the other characters I did, so I guess I fooled some people.
Well, I didn't even know that you were the voice of the other two characters till like after I'd finished the fifth episode.
Yeah, so apparently I am just being too hard on myself.
Yeah, you are. When I found that out, I was just like, oh, I could sort of like when I went back to us, I could sort of see it in Juliet, but I could not see it at all with Alyssa. I don't know.
Nice. All right. Cool.
But yeah, with Juliet, you do sort of like notice the like it's a deeper sort of voice.
Yeah.
Like you said, that masculine.
Which I was kind of like I was like offended. I was like, "What do you mean?" Girls can be tough too without whatever. Calm down, man.
So more into Kate when she's on the rooftop with Max. Were you and Hannah, the voice of Max, were you in the same room while recording that?
We were actually. It's one of the only times I was ever recording with someone. The only other time was the first time I recorded. I was in with the gentleman who did the voice of the security guard. We did that bit together, but other than that, I was usually on my own. But they did bring Hannah in at the same time as I was in for that scene. And it was the first time we'd met. And like, good morning. We're going to deal with suicide today. Nice to meet you.
What did it take to get yourself into that sort of position where I'm about to like I got to talk like someone who's about to jump off a roof and
Yeah,
I got a girl trying
it's
to save me.
interesting. I mentioned in the Blackwell podcast, I think, that I wasn't told ahead of time about anything. So I like, literally walked in and they're like, "Okay, so today your character's trying to jump off a building." And I literally looked at them and went, "Okay." All right. And it's interesting because I'm thinking back, and I don't think Hannah and I were in the same room, but we weren't facing each other. We were standing side by side. And I think it's just a little different because I knew there was no pressure of a camera on my face and having to actually access those emotions fully for like to cry or be upset in that. I don't know, it just took pressure off of me. And you just kind of go there and access those feelings of, you know, just being really upset. And they have you do it a few different ways. I mean, like I said, we had a director, so he might be like, okay, try it like this. And then you just do it. I have nothing really inspiring to say about it. I feel bad. You just go in and do the job. Honestly, the dialogue, even when it was one way or the other, it wasn't too different. You know, it still came from the same place. And I mean, maybe with the ending where she gets saved, there's relief that comes into the tone of it. But the way it is, it's like it was interesting because it's the first time I've ever done a job like this, and I didn't, you don't know the whole story. You don't know what's going on. You just have your lines, and the person, and like I think Max's lines were in between them, so that one wasn't too bad. When it got into the later sections, I was like, I have zero context for this because I haven't been playing, and so I don't know what's happening, but you still recognize the emotion that's there. And I don't know, you just compartmentalize, I guess, each line, and it's like, okay, this is where I'm at now, and this is where I'm at. I don't really know how else to describe it.
Just to put it out there, I did save Kate my first go.
Thank you.
Okay, I make sure I scanned that entire room because one of the parts was one of the options were your mother cares for you, your father cares for you, and I knew that it was the father cares for you for that option because I went through Kate's laptop, being the nosy person I am, and there was an email from the father saying like, he's
Right.
still there for her, loves her and stuff. But there was for the mother, she basically despised Kate. Anyway, in the emails
Yeah.
on the laptop. So that's pretty much what made me save her. Was like, oh yeah, her father cares for her. I remember that, so I'll say that, and it helped getting her down, and her not jumping off the rooftop. It was
Oh, wow.
very intense for me. I was live streaming that as well. I still have the recording. It was like that entire scene just got me.
Yeah,
That
that's what everyone says, and I feel bad because I don't have I'd like video games, but I don't have a gaming system like that isn't an N64 that I could actually play it on. I would like to, but I've I've watched it because I wanted to be like, I did this job. I want to see, um, and it's very strange.
more on Kate, because she was depressed, suicidal.
hmm
What
hmm
advice would you give to someone to stay on track? Like,
Um, okay, well, I'll preface it with I am in no way a professional, like, knows how to deal with these things. I think everyone goes through at least some sort of spot in like high school and later and stuff where you're unhappy for whatever reason because you're a teenager and you have too many hormones, among other things. If that's like the bare minimum, you just have too many hormones and don't know how to deal. Um, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things I've learned now, and I also know that there's a difference between, just being an angsty teen and having to deal through things and then being clinically depressed. But I know it really helps me when I'm upset. Like if I'm upset with people or stuff, like just writing it down and getting it out of my head, it like takes pressure off. And just finding what makes you happy and doing it. I mean, I know that's easier said than done a lot of times, but I mean, I'm constantly learning and figuring out how to do things for myself, like show myself compassion because I'm always like, go, 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 go. Like, no, you don't get a break. You have these 10 other things to do. Like, you have to get them done. Um, and just giving yourself a break, and allowing yourself to. I mean, I don't know. I decided in middle school through a camp, like a theater camp that I went to, like I made a decision early on to just stop caring about being embarrassed about who I am, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously, I wasn't completely free, but I was like, you know what? I am weird. Like, why do I keep hiding that? Like, screw it. I'm weird. Done. Embracing it. Like, embraced my awkwardness. I'm like, I will own my
this is who I
awkwardness.
am.
This is who I am. And I guess it seems to work for me. People are okay with my awkwardness. So I don't know if that's actually answering your question or helpful to anyone at all.
That's a brilliant answer. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
So before Life is Strange, in a show called, was it Emma Approved?
Yes. You've
How
done your
how was
research.
yeah yeah gotta do the research. So, what was that like? Because I watched a few of those episodes. It's pretty funny.
That was amazing. We did it for a year. Um, and it's still one of the like first uh big things, one of the only things I've like really booked in LA. And it was such an incredible experience because there's this really small cast and crew, and everyone was really awesome. And you got to get together once a month and hang out and play and film these things, and this amazing fan base grew out of it. Like it reminds me of the like it's similar to me the Emma approved fan base and the Life is Strange fan base. They're these communities with these wonderful, talented people that just care so much about the content. And it just blows my mind that people want to talk to me and listen to me talk. I'm like, who am I? I'm not anyone. Um, but it was so much fun doing M approved. it's just a great experience, and I'm so honored to be in an adaptation of a Jane Austen novel, and I'm always like high-fiving myself for basically, you know, me and Brittany Murphy, among others, have played the same Jane Austen character, and I'm just kind of stoked on that.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, the fans are so great, and it's so weird and cool and humbling to see like fan art and stuff. It's just crazy.
Because you're easily like your characters in Emma Approved and Life is Strange are easily one of the best out of both of them because
Aww.
like I know for Kate like she's one of like most people love her like a lot
Yeah,
like
that was really surprising. I mean, I didn't know like what would come out of Life is Strange, but I certainly didn't expect her to become one of the top characters, and neither did I don't think did the creators, because
yeah
I think that they were kind of like, oh man, they've really taken to this character. We better make sure she's in it more. So I was like, thank you,
I think it drew more
thank you.
like it drew more fans in especially since that second episode with the rooftop that intensity for that would have just built up hype built up more fans you know like so everyone cares about that character like don't want her to die.
Don't, but I don't hold it against anyone. Where Kate did die, because that would be mean of me. So just so everyone knows, if you didn't save Kate, we're still cool. But I'm a little sad, but we're cool.
Could have been better with your words, people. Come on. I even watched PewDiePie play. He couldn't save her. I was like, how? Most of the top
Ah,
YouTubers weren't able to
rude.
save Kate. I was like, how could you? Because it carries over. And I think it's the fourth episode where that hospital scene.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to see that because I thought like even though I had saved you after saved Kate after the second episode like that was it like she's done she's in hospital now she's just recovering getting better but then for them to actually like put her back in the game like an episode later to see I thought that was good it was sort of like
Yeah.
clarity like oh she's okay
Yeah,
she's
that
doing
was good
well.
too. And I know I was trying to find um stuff from the last episode, because I remember recording really strange stuff.
Oh that dream sequence with
Yeah,
Max yes.
but I like couldn't find anything, and I was sad because I was like, I want to hear the weird things that I was saying in the booth.
Why did you save me, Max, or some stuff like that?
Yeah, I just remember like humming creepy, or like laughing creepy, or doing something creepy.
I remember playing through that hallway scene. I was actually creeped out because Kate was like bending down by her door. She's like lighting candles or something, and then that's when the whole sequence happens when she's like, "Why did you save me?" or "Why'd you not save me?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she like opens the door and just jumps out of the door, like it's all white, just like basically replaying the rooftop
Yeah.
scene. Like she jumps. I was like, oh my god,
Intense.
it's a bit, it's a bit freaky. So going back to let's go way back. How did you actually get started in with all this? Like, how did you make a name for
Oh
yourself?
gosh, I wouldn't say I've made a name for myself.
Oh well, it's you made somewhat of a name. It's pretty well
Well,
known.
I'm flattered. But well, like I said awkwardly at the start, I've been involved with like entertainment and theater and stuff my whole life. Um, Started pursuing film and stuff a little more seriously. Kind of end of middle school when I kind of like filmed my first thing, and sort of through high school. But my mom was always very like schools first, and I was like, ugh, okay. Um, and then I went away to college and I studied theater there, and I moved back the like September 2012. I moved back to Orange County, and then a few months later moved out to LA. Because I was just driving to LA too much. Like I think it was home 10 days, and 8 of those days I was in LA. just because right, but as I was coming home, I booked an extra role on GBF, and so I was just in LA constantly, and a friend of mine from college had needed a roommate, and it was really cheap, not really cheap, but it was good rent, and I was kind of like, I'm just gonna go. Sorry, parents. And they were all sad.
Aw.
Understandably so, because they were like, we just got you back home after 4 years.
Sorry.
Right. Sorry, guys. But I don't know. Yeah. And so then as soon as I moved back, I was just go, go, go. I was submitting to agents. I was looking for managers. I was, I created my website my senior year of college. So I was constantly updating that and just, doing the grind.
Yeah.
And booked M approved really early on. I I booked a non-union commercial, and then I got my manager, and then I got M approved, and yeah, and it's kind of all dominoed from that. Not fast, not quickly. Things can always be better, but I am in a good place. I mean, I'm not complaining. I realize that I've gotten to a place that there are people who wish they were. So
Yeah, exactly.
I recognize that.
Yeah. Pretty sure there's people who want to do the stuff you do as well, like, voice acting, being an actress, being on web series.
I fell into the voice acting just because when I signed with my last agents, they just had a voiceover department and they just put me with him, and he would just send me auditions and I'd record them and send them back. And which is good because I wanted to do voiceover, but I just didn't know how to get into it either. Well, I know how. It's just a lot of money to create a demo and take the classes and stuff.
What's the difference like that? Like what's the difference?
Well, it's different because it's very out of context, at least in this time. Because even when you're filming out of order, but you have the whole script. So you know what's happening. And it's just a different skill set. Like, in some ways, I feel like it's easier because you're literally just making sure you sound real. Whereas when you're acting regularly, you have to be real. It's not good enough to just sound real. Like, you need more going on for you. So yeah, I guess that would be the biggest difference for sure.
So more about, let's say, into the gaming topic. You said yourself, like, you're not much of a gamer. You've played games before, right?
Oh, I love games. I really like video games, but I would hesitate to call myself a gamer because my knowledge is very limited to the handful of games I've played.
What sort of games do you play, or have you played, I should say?
There was a year where there was a lot of Skyrim happening.
Skyrim.
And Mortal Kombat. And then there's also my old roommate. The last few months I lived with them, he got the new Wii, and so there was a lot of Mario Kart 8. Diablo's a good one. That might be it. I'm really bad at first person shooter games. Real bad.
So no Halo, no Call of Duty, no Battlefield.
Yeah, no Halo or Call of Duty for me.
Those are the best games, though.
I'm pathetic. I cannot hit anything with a gun. Give me a bow and arrow and somehow I'm better. But if it's like guns and stuff, I'm miserable.
Always prefer the bow and arrow anyway. Sometimes it's better.
Like searching for gold and killing goblins and stuff.
I want to talk about your Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
What did you have in mind, basically, is what I want to ask.
So, I had a hard time setting it up because I'm an overachiever and there's so many things I have started and want to I went from having nothing to do and creating a bunch of projects for myself to having too much to do and no time for the projects I created for myself. So with the Patreon, that's why I settled on creating a mess because I didn't know how to specify because I have my blog, which I'm very passionate about and have been very poor about keeping up with lately, just due to time. And I want to do more of that. Like I want to kind of shift because right now it's like fashion and lifestyle, but I want to shoot some more conceptual photos. I have some fun ideas in mind, and in going along with the Harry Potter Instagram, actually, I have some really cool Harry Potter like photo shoot ideas that I want to do, and I work for one of my survival jobs doing parties as characters. So I have a handful of kind of like cosplay outfits. So I'd love to do shoots with those. Um, but the better quality of the shoot, the more people you need, the more equipment you need, and I can't keep asking people to do it for free. You know, I at least need to buy them food.
I'll get you a pizza.
um,
Do some acting.
yeah, at least need to get dinner or lunch, and so that's a big draw of the Patreon. Getting the equipment, like getting my own equipment, like a light, some sort of light source, so I don't have to shoot. Well, this is more for video. Like right now, if I shoot videos for my YouTube channel, it has to be during the daytime, and I don't have a lot of time during the day. So if I could get like lights so that I don't have to rely on the daytime, sound equipment, and there are spaces you can rent in LA that are photo studios that have all the equipment you need, but I need the money to rent the place. It's not super expensive, but it's extra money I don't have. Uh, so yeah, it's just to help me make more because I feel bad that I've started all these things and then people will post on my old videos like, when are you gonna make more? Like I like watching videos and I feel bad because I want to make them, but I need some more stuff. uh, so yeah, it's for equipment and for paying people right now is where hopefully the money is gonna go. Uh, so we'll see. I don't know if yeah, I have ideas for the YouTube channel I'm like writing a short sketch thing with a friend of mine that I'd love to do, and I have an idea for a series, not quite a web series, but videos that would string together with a theme. And I have some other ideas for other sketches. I'm trying to not be scared of writing and write some stuff. Um, just getting more content up, and I need the time, and even if it's just on my own, you know, those how many hours a week I spend at work not doing the things I want to be doing, but I need to because I need the money. Um, if I had some extra, then I could have more time as well. Time is money. They say that, right? That's a saying that exists. Um, I don't know if I did a good job of making any of that sound exciting.
You mentioned the Harry Potter stuff, the Harry Potter Instagram. Would you do like a short film on that, like a short?
I don't know about that just because I'm terrified of WB because they're scary and they're like, how dare you do fan thing related things about this that we want all the money for? Um, so right now it's just photo based. My mom did suggest because I'm friends with shout out Maxwell Glick, who has a YouTube channel, Mr. Cheesy Pop, and he does Disney videos, and he does tons of videos of at Disneyland, about Disney stuff. And my mom was like, "You should do what Max does, but with Harry Potter World." um, but I'm not quite comfortable vlogging, especially in public places. So we'll see. I might try, but it might not go anywhere.
I tried vlogging once at a mall, and it's just terrifying. It lasted about 5 seconds.
It's very awkward, isn't it? It's very I feel very self-conscious doing it, and that's why my videos are so awkward. But I might try. I think I'm going Tuesday, and I might just be like, "Who cares what you people think of me? I don't know who you are." Like, let's do some short things. And maybe, like, that'd be great if I just did them for Instagram, like if they're just like 15 seconds. I just find that people don't usually like videos as much on Instagram as they like they're there for photos. They're not up videos. I
Yeah.
have a lot of fun dressing up. It's really fun. I'm fortunate in that the last 3 jobs I've had have all been party related jobs where I dress up. And it's just fun, and the job I work at currently, you have to have your own costume, so I'm slowly collecting an army of outfits that don't fit in my closet.
What kind of outfits are they? Just like Disney princess
Right
kind of.
now, I have Elsa, I have Princess Leia, I have Rey from Star Wars, and I have Misty from Pokemon, and I have Luna, but I haven't gone out as Luna. Um, I also have a 1950s Dalek dress, but everyone always told me how much they liked my style, but all I did was wear what I wanted. So, and not feel bad about it. And if I wanted to wear something weird, I'd figure out how to wear it. So, I just try and tell other people to do the same, kind of like, "Yeah, look, I'm wearing hats because they make me happy. So, if that wearing something strange makes you happy, just wear it." Um, Kind of like an empowerment not feel, I can't think of the right word, but a little bit just empowering people to be themselves through it is my goal and my want and wish.
I watched. I think you linked it on Twitter. It might have been someone else. It was a short film that you were in, and it was about. There was like plot twists everywhere, and it was an actual. It was like an hour long. It was about that guy who his girlfriend dies,
Mm,
and I
yeah.
watched. That was really good. That
Oh,
was.
thank you. Yeah,
I was like,
that was a feature film that I did pretty. It was a while ago, and and yeah, it was my first and still only feature film that I've done. And it's called Washed for everyone else. I don't think you can watch it anymore because it was like up for 13 days trying to get votes to be on the site it was on permanently or something like that. So I don't know what's happening with that, but thank you for watching it.
what was that like? Because that just had me at the edge of my seat the whole time.
Oh, that's
That
great.
was great.
It was fun. I know my mom was like, "Was it really hard switching between 2 different people?" I'm like, "No, not really. I just, she did it first, and so I took, okay, she's the actual character, so that's the attitude she has, so I will do that attitude my way. Like, I'll do the same attitude, but the way Dayeanne would do it yeah, so, um, but it was cool. I shot like 5 days with them. It was really cool being up in the mountains. We like shot in this really cool location. Um, for all the foresty stuff. And ooh, the motel was gross. That was not so fun.
It looked a bit
It was
nasty.
it was nasty. I was like, "Oh, I have to lay on this floor without most of my clothes on. That's immediate shower." Yeah.
Okay, cut. It's like, sweet. Shower time.
But it was cool. I mean, yeah, I guess it did go through, I had my character, and then I had the alternate of my character, and then I had the weird dream version of my character.
Yeah, the guy,
Um,
he's in like that dream sequence and he's running, And then I think the other girl's on the phone with him, and she's like, "Oh, something's behind you.
Yeah.
Don't look back. Keep running." I was like,
Yeah, that was a great group of people to work with as well. And yeah, it turned out really great. It's beautifully shot, and we'll see what happens with good old Washed.
Because like I'm not familiar with feature films that basically aren't mainstream.
Right. It was very independent, low budget. It's hard to be familiar with them because it's very hard to get them anywhere without all that money behind them. Unless it's like winning crazy awards or has money behind it for distribution. It's a thing that the people who made it have, and that's kind of it.
Because it's so much like, even though they're not recognized as much, I reckon they can be sometimes so much better than actual Hollywood films that are complete trash. And
right. Well, they don't have to answer to the studios and the various producers and everyone who wants to change things, and everyone who's like, no, who cares? This will bring us more money.
one more question I need. So there's no other short films, or there are, like, besides the whole web series with Emma approved?
You can, on my website, DayeanneHutton.com, I have a video section, and it has some short films up there. It has a film I did in college called War Paint, a short film. It has a silent superhero short I did with my friend out here for when he was in school for film, and that one's fun. I did an AFI short, but I don't think it's viewable, watchable, that I'm aware of. But yeah, so most things that there's access to, I have up on my website. And if anything, my resume is up there, and maybe someone who's better at Googling than myself would be able to find something. But yeah, so my website has some gems on there.
So what have you got in store for yourself, like, nowadays?
I'm waiting to see how things go, kind of. I just signed with a new theatrical agent, and getting new headshots together. So have my fingers crossed for some movement in the future. As of right now, I did film a short, no, it was a web series in December. It's called I Ship It. It's going to be on CW Seed, and I just cameoed in it, but my friends, it's a friend's project, and it's going to be great, so I would look out for that. And then catch my brief cameo. I'm singing. Everyone wants me to sing in web series now. Oh, Social Medium. I did a web series called Social Medium. That's on YouTube. I play a modern day siren. I don't sing in the episodes, but because I'm in a quote unquote band, and our band released a single, so you can find that. Called The Odds Are Out. I'm basically rapping. It's weird. To a ukulele and banjo. Yeah. Figure that out.
I know exactly
now
what that
everyone
is.
has to watch or listen to it. Like, what are you talking about? That's pretty much it. I'm not filming anything right now. I'm just going to work and going to class and making my own stuff. So that's what I'm up to.
Before we get to the end of the show, what would you like to say anything to the viewers right now?
Thank you so much to the whole entire fan community around Life is Strange. Honestly, before I got involved with Emma Approved, I had no idea about fandoms really to the extent that they exist these days. I thought you were just a fan of something. I didn't realize there are these huge online communities, and it blows my mind, and it's incredible, and I think it's a fantastic community. I love the support for each other I see from the community, and I am just grateful to you all for making. I mean, without you, the game wouldn't be what it is, and you. I mean, we make it for you, and you are why it lives. So thank you for existing and participating and being encouraging and supportive to me. Like I'm well, who am I? I don't know. Um, but it's just very touching to get fan people wanting to send me fan mail or show me their Kate artwork. It's just incredible, and I'm just rambling, but thank you. It's nuts, and I mean, I know it's different. Like with Emma approved, it was literally me. When with this, it's Kate, which isn't me, but it is me, and so I still feel attached to all of that art because I'm like, oh, I helped bring her to life, so I'm a part of this, and that feels really nice, and I'm just very grateful. I'm just saturating this ramble with gratitude.
So honestly, thank you so much
No problem.
for this whole opportunity.
Thanks
I
for having
didn't
me.
wouldn't ever imagine like interviewing anyone from a game at all. Like, it's just blows my mind, that entire concept.
Well, I'm glad you reached out because I'm equally blown away that anyone wants to interview me. So thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching. That was my guest, Dayeanne Hutton. I'm gonna leave all her links in the description, and her Patreon, her Instagram, her Twitter, her everything.